So in this lesson, guys, we are gonna cover the 3 most important techniques that you need to play finger-picking neo-soul guitar. So when we play R&B and neo-soul guitar, often the chords have more of a jazzy type of vibe. For that reason, today we are gonna use 3 extended chords, which means that they extend above the 7th using the 9th and the 11th. The first chord that we need is an F sharp minor 11, where the 11th is actually an open string. It's the open B string. This way, okay? So you play second, 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 open. And then you take these 3 fingers, you move them 3 frets across G sharp minor 11, and you position your first finger on the 2nd fret of the B string. Basically doing this, yeah? And then the next chord is going to be just down here. It's a C sharp, and it's a C sharp minor 9. So all minor 7th chords, but extended to the 11th for the first 2. And to the minor 9 for the next one. Okay, a 4 minor, 5 minor, 1 minor in the key of C sharp minor. And if you guys want to learn everything about R&B and neo-soul acoustic guitar, learning all of the chord progressions, the finger picking techniques, the music theory behind it, make sure to check out my R&B and neo-soul course, which is available at the link in the description below. Join over 1,000 students that have learned how to play R&B and neo-soul guitar with this course. You go over more than 40 lessons and more than 4 hours of content only available in my course, including PDF tabs, backing tracks, and 5 neo-soul etudes. So make sure to check it out at the link in the description below. Just a reminder, guys, that you can find the PDF tab and the Guitar Pro tab available on my Patreon page for this chord progression. Check out the link in the description below, and now let's get started with the first technique, which is going to be arpeggios. And when we say arpeggios, we essentially mean that we play single notes with the right hand, so one finger plays one string at a time. So if I get my F sharp minor 11, which is the first chord, I'm gonna play it simply like ba, 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 4 single notes, which I think of in 16ths. That means 1 E and A. Okay, so that's the way I want to start. Then when I'll move to the second chord, G sharp minor 11, I simply do the same thing. Okay, so. And when I get to the next and final chord, all I do, I move my thumb to the A string because the root note is now here, and I do a 4-note arpeggio even here. Now guys, before we get into the core of this lesson, I just want to briefly introduce myself in case you guys are new on the channel. My name is Simone, I'm a musician and content creator based in London, UK. And if this is your first time on this channel, a very warm welcome to you. If you guys enjoy this type of content around R&B and neo-soul guitar, feel free to subscribe to the channel. It literally doesn't cost you anything, but it really helps me a lot, reaching out more people and spreading the message. So thanks for that, let's get back into the lesson. Now, in between chords, we are gonna use percussion. So here is where we introduce the second technique. So this first way of playing this chord progression is going to be arpeggio dominant, okay? So you'll play arpeggios most of the time, but you will have percussions in between chords and the plucking technique applied to the second bar. Let's go step by step. So after playing the first 4 notes, this is what I do. I use my right hand to play a percussion, which we often play on the beats 2 and 4 of the bar, like the snare of the drum kit, okay? And we do 1 E and A 2. Then you'll do the same on the next chord and you'll simply play 3 E and A 4. That's how you can tell that the percussion is on the beat 2 and on the beat 4. Now I don't want to simply play the percussion here and move to the next chord. I want to play 2 extra notes of the chord that I mostly play with index and thumb, okay, on the 2nd and 3rd 16th note of the beat, doing and then moving, right? That's the way I do it, and then I move to the next chord and I'll play something slightly different. So far we've got the arpeggios and we've got the percussions in between the chords, using then extra notes that I play with my right hand in between. But on the C sharp minor 9, I play my 4-note arpeggio, my percussion, and then on the offbeat number 2, I don't play single notes. I actually want to introduce the plucking technique, where you literally pluck all of the notes of the chord simultaneously, generating this. Okay, so okay, I haven't done yet, but I can already tell you that you can count 1 E and A, 2 E and A, 3 E and A, 4 E and A, 1 E and A, 2 E and. So you pluck on the offbeat number 2, you let it ring for an entire beat, and then on the offbeat number 3 you play the note D sharp, which is the 9th of the C sharp minor 9, so you get that color, the 9th, as a single note, okay? And you do this, followed by a percussion on 4. So you get percussion on 4, and then simply I do this percussion, extra note on the G string as always with my index, and then the note in the bass with my thumb is now on the 4th fret of the E string. It's the note G sharp. The reason for it is because this way you create a walking bass line to come back to F sharp, but also because in this position, this way you get the 5th of the chord back. You kind of like alternate root, 5th, root, 5th of the chord, like in bossa nova and Latin styles, okay? So instead of playing the root note, you play the 5th in the bass at the end of the bar, and you get this vibe. As you can see, there is everything. There's a walking bass line, there's percussions, there is arpeggios, mostly arpeggios, and 1 plucking on the C sharp minor 9. Next step is adding a little bit of tension, so towards the end of the bar, every other time, you want to turn your C sharp minor 9, the 1 minor chord, into a C sharp 7 sharp 9. You may know this chord as the Hendrix chord, and this is basically the secondary dominant, the 5/7 of the 4 minor, to come back to the 4 minor, okay? It's the chord that creates briefly that tension to introduce back the first chord of the chord progression, the 4 minor. So if I do this, I do something like okay, so it's percussion, upper part of the chord, and then bass, 4, E, and A, start again, okay. But there is something else that I still want to add to that C sharp minor 9, and it's a sort of funky groove that you can get by sliding into the C sharp minor 9, starting from the previous fret. So instead of simply plucking it this way, you can do this. So bass, upper part, slide the whole chord, okay? This is gonna add an entire new vibe to this chord. Check this out. So basically what you do, you play your 4 note arpeggios, and then you play your percussion, move to C minor 9 briefly to do, and then you slide back into this. So 4, E, and A, okay, that is kind of like the timing. And then after that, you still pluck the top note and the extra 2 to start again. So that doesn't change, and again, the tabs are available on my Patreon page. You can combine, right, all of the ingredients that we saw today. You can combine the slide to get that funky move, the walking bass line, and you can combine the variation, you know, with the C sharp 7 sharp 9 at the end of the chord progression. Now we're gonna see a second way to play the exact same chord progression, so you guys don't have to learn new chords, but this time we want to use the plucking technique more and the arpeggios just slightly in the second bar. So instead of getting into the 4 note arpeggios for the first 2 chords, we're gonna get into this vibe. Okay, by doing so, you're literally plucking all of the strings of the chords simultaneously. So on the first chord, I pluck the 4 strings, 6th, 4th, 3rd, and 2nd, and play my percussions like 1 and 2. Then on the G sharp minor 11, I like to do it twice quicker as 2 eighth notes, basically getting to staccato sound to add some vibe, some groove to it, and getting bam, bam, okay, bam, bam. So I play them twice on 3 and, but I make sure that I play them short, so I use my left hand to mute the chord and get bam, bam, 2 short sounds. Percussion on 4, on the offbeat number 4 to add even more movement to the chord progression, you pluck the C sharp minor 9 again all together and you get into that funky vibe that we've introduced previously. Okay, which is a little bit more advanced, but let's break it down. So after plucking it once, you pluck again as a staccato only the top 3 notes. And then you play a percussion. And then you hit again the same 3 strings on the second 16th note, very short. Okay, and then you can finally move to the C minor 9 and do the same move we saw previously and hit the 3 top notes again before the following percussion. So again, all of the details on my Patreon, but slowly it goes. And then you can play 2 ghost notes, or you can play the same 2 notes that we were playing previously. Maybe this way we make it easier. Start again. And then I hear you're thinking of, what if I want to add the C sharp 7 sharp 9? Well, you can do it. Okay, so after the percussion on 4, as always, you do upper part and then bass for E end, and start again. So slowly, let's break this down again. That is the variation with the C sharp 7 sharp 9. So if we combine with and without that final chord, it goes like. Okay, so it's up to you guys to let me know in the comments below whether you groove and vibe more with the first version using the arpeggios or the second version using the plucking technique more. The third and final technique that you must know if you want to play fingerpicking neo-soul guitar is definitely the use of these percussions. So far we only saw that we can use all of our hand on the strings to mute the chord and at the same time create the percussion. We can also open up a little bit the index while we do that in a Joe Mayer type of style, if you know what I mean. And that means that we use the thumb as a slap and we use a grace note coming from the index to really create more groove and strum the chord, strum a few strings of the chord a little bit, getting more like. This kind of move. Or if you apply this to the arpeggios, it's just a different way to be groovy with the percussions.